Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
All right, so imagine this. You get a full tank of gas for free. Yes, that's the gift that one San Antonio artist is offering to those who really need it in our community. How you can nominate somebody to get that gift as well, it's coming up.
And the Riverwalk, much different scene 2 years ago. Look at it. With spring break in full swing now, can we safely say things are back to normal? We'll hear from those welcoming the crowds. But first, we begin with the ever-escalating war in Ukraine and what we can do here. The U.S. will provide $800 million in military assistance to that country.
So that includes anti-aircraft systems, missiles, and other weapons. However, the U.S. is still not agreeing to establish a no-fly zone for Russia. And that very topic came up today as the World Affairs Council in San Antonio held a panel discussion.
The Night Team's Lee Waldman also reports there are ways San Antonio can provide help.
Russia has turned the Ukrainian sky into a source of death for thousands of people.
A sobering view of Ukraine's reality on full display for Congress. Pregnant women and children bleeding in the streets. A rain of missiles coming from the sky.
Ukraine's sky must be closed. Putin sees Ukraine as the gateway to the West.
President Biden is afraid of World War III. It already has started, but it doesn't have the official date yet.
Today, President Joe Biden gave an additional $800 million in military aid to Ukraine to support their efforts, but has stopped short in answering Zelensky's call to police their skies, closing them off to Putin's airstrikes.
I fully understand the caution regarding NATO or the United States getting involved in an open skies policy. We do not want to be in a situation where we have a direct conflict between the United States and Russia, or NATO in general, and Russia.
Roman Papaduke, the first ambassador to Ukraine, explaining Biden and NATO's hesitancy. Avoiding direct conflict with Russia means avoiding the potential for a third world war. The international conflict inspiring the World Affairs Council's panel discussion tonight in San Antonio. Papaduke was joined by Lilia Colston with the Ukrainian Society of San Antonio and Rosa Aloisi, an associate professor at Trinity University.
Ukrainian people are stronger than anybody thought they are.
They answered questions from audience members speculating why the war started and how it would end, each expressing the same sentiment: heartbreak over the ongoing war and hope for resolution.
We are in front of one of the worst humanitarian situations following World War II.
Tonight's council finished with a call to action, pleading for help for the people of Ukraine. They're in desperate need of medical supplies and humanitarian aid. If you come over to our website, KSAT.com, click on this story. We have a direct link for you to donate if you can. Live downtown, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Lee, thank you. Now we have new video tonight following that deadly crash in West Texas. Pleasanton High School graduate Travis Garcia was one of 9 people killed. Sam Fowler with the Pleasanton Express shared an interview with Garcia. He was speaking after advancing in a golf tournament last year. Garcia continued his golfing career while attending the University of the Southwest in New Mexico. Now, Garcia was in a van with 8 other members of the university's golf teams when DPS troopers say that a pickup truck crossed the center lane and hit the van head-on yesterday. It happened in Andrews County, which is about 30 miles east of New Mexico.
Their names were revealed, but footage from their body cameras has yet to be publicly released in the shooting death of 28-year-old Kevin Johnson on Monday. He was wanted on an outstanding felony warrant. The San Antonio Police Department confirmed the officers involved in the shooting are Adam Rule, a 6-year veteran, Gus Vias, a 4-year veteran, and James Quintanilla, who has been on the job for 13 years. Officials say all are on administrative duty. The officers shot and killed Johnson Monday near Woodlawn Lake at North Elmendorf and Carter. Crews grew angry afterwards as they confronted police. Officers say Johnson pointed a gun at them and then they fired. SAPD's policy allows them to release body camera footage within 60 days of that incident.
So switching gears here, the nightlife on St. Mary's Street could change. Tomorrow, businesses and neighbors in the Tobin Hill community will try and reach some sort of a compromise. You know, we've been telling you about this. People in that area have been complaining about trash, fights, property damage. There is a proposal to limit parking in that area and hire staff to pick up the trash. Another idea that they're floating is to have bar owners in that area share the cost of hiring more off-duty officers just for that particular area. And when these folks meet, we're going to tell you more about it tomorrow on the Nightbeat.
All right, it's been a while since we've looked at these numbers, but turning to the pandemic, we've actually got a change in our COVID-19 risk level. Metro Health first indicated a low risk earlier this week. Well, that has been bumped up to the mild category. We had 71 new cases reported today, along with one new death. There are 152 COVID-19 patients in our local hospitals. The last time we saw that number that low, late last year. And 2 years ago this week, some businesses were forced to close because of COVID concerns. Take a look. This was the scene back then. The empty sidewalks of the Riverwalk. Now with spring break underway, our business is finally back on track in San Antonio. It seems busy. The Night Team's Patty Santos spoke with business owners welcoming tourists on the Riverwalk.
This is week 2 for us, and it's been extremely busy. As you can see, our store is a little packed here.
Tourists are back in San Antonio.
It's like tripled business, pretty much.
Stephanie Villarreal, manager at Five and Dime Souvenir Store, says it's a reminder of what they saw before the pandemic. Mariachi singers making ends meet performing along the Riverwalk are grateful to be back at work.
Cuando estaba la pandemia realmente no teníamos trabajo. No había trabajo.
The general manager of Hilton Palacio del Rio is feeling optimistic about the season ahead. While official hotel occupancy numbers for this month won't be out till next month, he says it looks like hotels are about 80 to 90% capacity. Remember the empty tourism spots 2 years ago around this time when the pandemic started to shut down the city? Well, taking a drive around downtown today, seeing the crowds of visitors, things seem almost back to normal.
It's sunny, bring sunglasses. It is great weather. It is great weather this time of year. The low humidity and the temperature is really good. It feels good to be here.
But those gracing San Antonio with their business say there's a new challenge. Rising gas prices.
We brought the economy car with us. Instead of driving the big vehicle, we did drive the little vehicle, so.
Trying to save on gas, huh?
Absolutely.
And spring break is a big kickoff to the tourism season. Next week, San Antonio will host the South Regional Games of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. And those in the tourism industry tell me there is still a worker shortage, but it is better than last year. Steve, Stefania.
Patty, thank you. And now here's a look at some of the other big headlines tonight. A Bexar County Sheriff's deputy accused of running up an elderly woman's credit card. Deputy Eric Reyes is accused of charging 2 cruises to the account amounting to $5,000. He's also accused of trying to get the woman to sign over a credit card and her entire trust over to him. That incident report was filed in January. Reyes resigned from the sheriff's office on March 9th. He remains under investigation by the Internal Affairs and Public Integrity Unit. Also, you know, it's a growing problem in Texas. There just aren't enough teachers. And tonight we're asking what's causing that problem. Well, retired teachers say the job just isn't what it used to be. Teachers today are facing more challenges like COVID. Others say that students just don't respect teachers anymore. San Antonio ISD says that before the pandemic, it was looking to hire 34 teachers. But listen to this. Now it needs 114 teachers. And here's something that you can help with: donating blood. Our area simply just doesn't have enough supply, but you can help by donating some tomorrow. There's going to be a blood drive at the Wonderland of America's Mall. You can go from 1 to 6 and you can get things in return like movie tickets or vouchers. And that's a look at your Nightbeat Newsflash.
We have a bit of weather to talk about as well, starting with a little bit of fog developing towards sunrise tomorrow morning. The wind's going to kick up again on Friday. I think it's going to be an issue at that point. And oak pollen season. Get ready for it to spike. I'm going to talk more about that at the typical peaks and also let you know when our next chance of showers and storms comes back into the picture in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Still ahead on the Nightbeat, positivity at the pump. One San Antonio artist helping drivers fill up their gas tanks. We're going to hear from the rapper and how you can nominate others in need in this very special effort coming up.
Also, a U.S. citizen accused of leading a drug cartel in Mexico. He was brought back across the border. Now, we're going to talk about the arrest and the indictment that was filed right here in San Antonio. It's next on the Nightbeat. New tonight, he's accused of running a drug cartel, and now an indictment filed right here in San Antonio is offering more insight into his arrest. You're looking at 39-year-old Juan Gerardo Treviño Chavez. He's a U.S. citizen, and he faces multiple drug, weapons, and money laundering charges. And this picture that you see right here was released as part of an initiative to help find Treviño Chavez back in 2019. He's from Laredo, but police in Mexico arrested him Sunday before he returned to the U.S. Investigators say that 2 U.S. border bridges leading to Laredo were briefly closed after several shootings took place in retaliation for his arrest.
How about some good news tonight? In a time with lots of negativity in the world, a San Antonio artist spreading positivity. He's starting at the gas pump by surprising people and filling up their tanks. The Night Team's John Paul Barajas explains how you can help in his effort or even nominate someone who's in need of a little help.
With gas prices hitting near the $4 mark in San Antonio, filling up at the gas station is costing some double or more than what they're used to. The clicking at the pump, not music to anyone's ears. That's why San Antonio artist King Kyle Lee has been trying to ease that pain at the pump by covering the cost.
Do 75. Hopefully this put a smile on your face.
What started as surprises of kindness has turned to finding those who are most in need through social media. That's what led the rapper to Priscilla Maldonado.
It sucks. Right now I just try to go home, back to work, and, kids want to go somewhere. It's spring break, can't go nowhere no more, even if it's out of town a little bit. It's just too costly.
The mother of 3 was laid off. She recently found work, but it pays less and is further away. King Kyle Lee stepped in.
Oh, good. Y'all are empty? Good. Okay. That's what I was hoping. All right. Have a good day, okay? You probably spending your whole paycheck to fill up your tank. Especially if you got like a big SUV or something like that. So my mission was last week, I said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to help people.
And that he has, saying he filled up 13 people's vehicles last week, adding while business is good for him now, it hasn't always been that way.
There were people that helped me. There are people that opened up their homes to me. There are some people who gave me some money.
His main goal? Showing strangers that others care and hopefully inspiring people to do something for someone else.
What's going to hook up, man?
Oh, he says he doesn't know how long he's going to be filling up people's tanks for, but we all know plenty of us could use the help here off South Flores. Unleaded is about $3.91 a gallon. On a good note, King Kyle Lee says that since he started this, people have actually been sending him money so he can keep the acts of kindness going. If you want to help him out or do you want to nominate someone that could use the help, you can reach out to him on any social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. All you have to do is search his name, King Kyle Lee. We'll also have all that information on our website, KSAT.com. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you for that, John Paul. All right, so tomorrow is a big day for San Antonio. A lot of people are going to gather along the Riverwalk to see that it's dyed green for St. Patty's Day. This is a yearly tradition that San Antonio has been enjoying since 1968. Tomorrow's event is going to take place between 1 and 3 p.m. And if you can't make it, don't worry, because there's going to be another chance for you to go out to the river and watch it as it's dyed green again Saturday afternoon. Really, really, really fun stuff. And speaking of green,
let's go to the Quarry Market.
Yeah, look at that.
We'll be wearing the green tomorrow, but they're already wearing the green at the smokestacks at the Quarry tonight. Adam O'Caskey.
O'Caskey. McCaskey, maybe.
Also something else, that you can't really see right now. Not exactly green, but close. We'll be feeling it.
Yes, something you can't see in that live cam, and that is pollen. It's that time of year, and I'm seeing some indications that the oak pollen is likely to really jump and get that big spike soon. Not necessarily tomorrow, but I think within a handful of days or so, maybe even within the next week. Take a look at what I spotted earlier today. Now, there are some oak trees, of course, that still have all their leaves, but I'm starting to see more and more of them that have shed their leaves, and you look closer and you get a closer look. They're starting to sprout those little catkins. or those little dingly things that people refer to them as. Technically catkins, and they're the ones that then spew the pollen out into the air, and then the catkins afterwards eventually drop. But we're starting to see those catkins forming on some of the trees, and of course, every oak tree is a little different. They're all individual, and it happens at slightly different times. We're starting to see that trend, and typically oak season peaks in late March, early April. And so we're right about here where we typically be on this line. It should start ramping up pretty quickly. And again, starting to actually see signs of it. So if you're susceptible to the oak pollen, now's the time to get ready. And if you typically say cover lawn furniture or patio furniture, anything outside, it's time to start thinking about that, because this is going to creep up on you quickly, I think. All right, let's talk about the morning commute tomorrow. Visibility, not bad right now. It's just fine. You saw that from our live cam. But I do think around sunrise tomorrow, as our Futurecast shows, notice by 7, 8 a.m., visibilities are reduced to maybe even under a mile in some locations. So we could have some issues in the morning commute because of the fog. Bottom line, anticipate some reduced visibility between about 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. And then we clear out, nothing but sunshine. Let's talk temperatures. Comfortable now, 70 degrees, dew point of 44. That southeasterly wind, though, it's at 20. It's noticeable, and that's going to gradually increase the humidity and lead to some of that fog tomorrow morning. Not the kind of sticky, sweaty humidity, just meteorologically enough to reduce the visibility and create fog. Temps mostly 60s and 70s right now. Bandera at 67, Devine 69, Stinson 71, Converse at 66 degrees. And I think tomorrow morning we'll start the day mostly in the low to mid 50s. So Gonzales about 55, Bernie 53, and mostly around San Antonio about 53 degrees. But then by the afternoon with the sunshine, well into the 80s again. So not as much of a gap from that morning temperature to the afternoon temperature as what we've been experiencing lately. But that's going to come back by Friday through the weekend. Notice a little drop in our temperatures, mid 70s by Friday through the weekend because of a weak cold front that hits us tomorrow night. You're not going to notice that front much, I'll be honest with you. And it's actually part of this big dip in the upper level flow that's causing some showers in parts of the Rocky Mountains, especially Colorado now. That's not going to affect us much. Our next system is still over Alaska. That's going to be dropping southward. Of course, a lot of time between now and Monday. But right now it looks like, and the trends are favoring, this system to dig far enough south to put itself in a position to give us good storm-making energy by Monday. It's still not a slam dunk yet, but the trend has been to push this farther south. The more southerly the models push it in the days ahead, the higher our rain chances go. It puts us in that sweet spot. So something to watch, especially because should it pan out and we actually get some storms developing, there'd be the chance of some strong to severe storms. Again, that's on Monday. Until then, high and dry. Sunny tomorrow, south wind at 10 to 20. Temperatures in the 40s by Friday morning, 70s into the afternoon. That's the trend through the weekend. Then Monday's the day we're watching. Check back in. It's a fluid situation. We will be fine-tuning and modifying that forecast.
All right. Looks good, though. We will need the rain by Monday, just not the storms.
Now, before we came out here today, you were sitting at the edge of your seat. What's up with the Spurs and Thunder?
Well, it was a blowout in the making for the Spurs, 16 points up, but it came down to a last-second shot, and Lonnie Walker IV delivers in a Spurs must-win tonight. We'll show you how it got to this point. Also, when we come back, can the Cardinals advance in the NCAA tournament? Coming up.
Good luck. Just keep focused and keep the magic. That's all I got to say.
Big watch party tonight. Broadway 50-50 to cheer on the University of the Incarnate Word women's basketball team in their first trip ever to the NCAA tournament in big board sports. But first, Keldon Johnson and Dejounte Murray knowing tonight's game against Oklahoma City is a must-win if they're going to try and catch up to New Orleans on Friday with a 2-game lead over the Spurs to the 10th play-in position. Former Oklahoma City native Josh Richardson off to a hot start tonight, scoring the first 5 points for the Spurs. This 3 puts San Antonio up 5-0. Keldon Johnson getting inside the paint, pops some floaters. Spurs would lead by as many as 11 in the first quarter. Second quarter, Richardson for another 3. Off the arm, but Josh Primo flies in to slam it home. OKC would actually tie the game at 51, but the Spurs knocked down 5 threes in the final final 3.5 minutes to close the half on a 17-5 run and take a 68-56 lead into the halftime. Keldon Johnson's hot outside shooting continues as he hits this contested three from the corner. Spurs on an 8-0 run and take a 16-point lead. Lonnie Walker, the forward, driving baseline, throw down the two-handed punch. And it looks like the Spurs are going to run away with this thing. But OKC's Darius Bazley gets this three to drop at the buzzer. The Spurs lead is cut to 7 going to the fourth. This one would come down to the wire. OKC up 1 with a minute 15 to play. Keldon to Pirtle down low for the bucket and the lead. Thunder take the lead back with under 5 seconds to play. Spurs last chance. Ball goes to Lonnie Walker, the fourth. He fires a three and hits nothing but the bottom of the net. Spurs hold on for the big win, 122-120.
We were not bailed out by good basketball. The threes bailed us out, and Lonnie made a hell of a shot at the end. Joshua made a good defensive play in the corner on the last play, but other than that, I think we got outplayed.
I know that the main focal point was going to be DJ, so I was going to be open somehow, some way. I first went to the corner, seeing that there wasn't anyone open. I kind of just sprinted to the ball, and it came to me. It's funny because literally right before the timeout, Josh Richardson called it. He's like, "It's gonna go to you, and you gonna knock it down." I said, "All right, I got you." So somehow we manifested that today.
All right, now before tonight's game tipped off, the Spurs announced that forward Doug McDermott will miss the rest of the regular season after an MRI confirmed a grade 3 right ankle sprain. The injury occurred early in the first quarter. The Spurs lost to the Indiana Pacers on Saturday. Ironically, it was a trade with the Pacers that brought McDermott to the Spurs this season, but injuries and COVID limited him to just 51 games this season, where he started in all the 51 games he played in out of 69 games already played before tonight. Here's the matchup for the next Spurs game. This against New Orleans, remember, has that 10th playing position. This will be on Friday at 7:30. Check out the scene at the Broadway 50-50 as the basketball fans gather for a watch party for the women's basketball team of the University of the Incarnate Word. Those that couldn't make the trip to Columbia, South Carolina, cheered them on from here as the Cardinals women's basketball team made their first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament as one of 8 playing teams for the tournament.
I'm here because I want to support women's sports. Go Cardinals. I'm really excited to see that our program is growing. I'm a new student here, and it's cool to get to be a part of that.
To have something to cheer about, with people from your college and just get behind it. I mean, look at the turnout. Everyone's here having a good time. So that's what it's all about, try to get back to normal, put some smiles on faces, all the good stuff.
So with fans watching some 1,200 miles away in San Antonio, UIW women face Howard in the home arena of the South Carolina Gamecocks. First quarter, UIW's Jacqueline Moore drives in, pulls up for the elbow for the jumper, and the lead. UIW would lead by 2 after 1. UIW would lead by 5 after this basket in the paint from Destiny Terrell. Final seconds of the first half, Moore throwing it up off the glass for the bank, and the Cardinals are up 2 at the half. Tiana Gardner makes a quick move to get the basket and put it up and in. She led UIW with 16 points. 1 minute to play. UIW down 3, and this shot is off the mark, and it appears to be touched last by Howard, but after a review, the ball is called out on Incarnate Word. Howard capitalizes. Brooklyn Fort Davis with the bucket that seals a win. UIW falls 55-51. Is Baker Mayfield done in Cleveland with the Browns meeting with Deshaun Watson? Next.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Cleveland Browns' pursuit of Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson has put the future of Baker Mayfield in Cleveland very much in question, increasing the speculation that Mayfield will be moving. Came on this message on Twitter, thanking the city of Cleveland and its fans who truly embraced who I am, admitting on social media with many uncertainties, here is where my head and heart is. That message sent on the same day the Cleveland front office flew to Houston to meet with Watson. And what happens if Watson decides not to sign with the Browns? Then what? Former Aggie Von Miller has decided to lead the Los Angeles Rams after winning the Super Bowl and sign with the Buffalo Bills for, get this, 6 years, $120 million. The 8-time Pro Bowl linebacker who turns 33 later this month was a key piece in the Rams Super Bowl win over the Cincinnati Bengals, sacking quarterback Joe Burrow twice in the game in L.A. He's 33. His signing bonus is $38 million. If your signing bonus exceeds your age, it's very good.
That's a good thing.
It's a very good thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Always strive for that.
Thank you, Greg.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
Friendly reminder, some morning fog, otherwise another sunny day, 50s in the morning, 80s by the afternoon. So warm day. Then we have that bigger morning to afternoon temperature gap Friday through the weekend. Windy on Friday. Still comfortable temperatures. Monday's our next chance of storms.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Adam.
That's it for the Night Beat. GMSA at 4:30.
Have a wonderful night.